All right, back with our friend Captain Ted from the BoatUS Foundation. Cap, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Fresh off the water and glad to be here.
Cap, let's talk about SCAN. So very important. What does it mean?
SCAN is actually, John, an acronym that we've come up with to help boaters be more aware on the water. SCAN is exactly what you think it means. It means looking around you, even behind you. Much like we're taught in driver's ed, we're taught to use all of our mirrors and occasionally glance left and right. Uh, we're encouraging boaters to do the same, and I'll tell you why. Each year, the Coast Guard Accidents and Statistics cites operator inattention as the top contributing factor
Hmm.
to all boating accidents. And we decided there's something we need to do to try to help boaters be more aware, to increase and improve their situational awareness when out on the water in order to prevent boating accidents.
SCAN. What am I scanning for? What am I watching?
So,
Forward, back, side, port, starboard.
So it's all of that. SCAN is an acronym which stands for search, concentrate, analyze, and navigate. So we like to break down the scanning process into those four components. And as you mentioned, it's left and right, and it's behind you. We encourage boaters to conduct a 360-degree scan on somewhat of a regular interval. The faster you go, the more frequent you should be scanning. But typically, your scan begins with your gaze out front, right? The Coast Guard requires each boater, each vessel to have a proper lookout at all times. So, distracted boating is one of the number one causes. Distracted operator inattention, distracted boating, and operator inattention is leading to a vast number of accidents. So, with the SCAN acronym, we're encouraging people to search. That means looking left, looking right, it means looking all around. And you do so. And then what are you doing when you're searching? Well, hopefully you're picking up something that may be of importance. For example, if you're scanning and you pick up a boat that's out in front of you, what is that boat doing? So then that C for concentrating turns into a little bit of, okay, what's that other boater doing? And then you're analyzing that situation. This may be happening automatically,
Hmm.
but you see this boat out ahead, then am I required to do anything? Am I legally required by rules and regs for boaters to take evasive action? Do I need to slow down? Do I need to steer or turn the boat so I avoid that? So that action and analyze stage of scan then becomes the N, which is navigate. So I need to do something and I need to do it most likely in accordance to the rules, Coast Guard navigation rules. So scan, search, concentrate, analyze, and navigate.
Search, concentrate, analyze, and navigate. Makes sense.
Yeah, and I can give you an example. I mentioned, a vessel that's up ahead. It could be an object it could be a navigational mark or navigational aid that we have to do something with or confirm on our chart or our chart plotter. And if we don't know what's going on, we might want to ask someone else aboard, can you pick up the binoculars and read to me what it says on that mark? Is that mark number 2 or is that mark number 4? Um, can you tell me some of the features of that mark? Does it look like it says slow, no wake, or does it say danger, do not enter? So our regulatory marks tells us things like that. Could be a swim area, or could be a hidden object under the water. So that's how we navigate. But scan is looking around you at your surroundings and then taking the correct action.
You know, Ted, so many of those at the helm these days, electronics and navigation electronics have become so precise. They bury the head in that screen. And, that's not going to show you if something pops up just ahead. and there's a navigational
No,
issue there. So don't bury your head in the screen. Eyes up, a little bit of eyes up, right? Even the best pilots in the world flying the most sophisticated aircrafts, they like those heads up displays, right?
right. Looking around you, looking at your surroundings, taking note of the traffic. It might even be taking note of the weather. You need to keep your head out of the boat on a swivel. And probably one of the number one causes of boater distraction are the other passengers. We're out on the boat to have a good time, to socialize, and everyone wants to talk to you while you're
Mm.
trying to operate your boat, right? But you have to keep your head on a swivel and look left, look right, and take note of what's going on around you. And that's the primary message that we're sending home here is that by scanning, you can't help but being aware of your surroundings. And by scanning, your attention is where it needs to be on the boat operation and the waters and the other boats around you.
And it doesn't take any sophisticated equipment to practice this, man. It's just eyes up, a head on a swivel, right?
That's right. And if you have a particularly chatty passenger or a crew member or a friend, there's no harm in saying, "Hey, would you mind helping me keep a
Yeah.
lookout too?" So then they get involved with, "Did you see that, Captain Ted? There looks to be a boat coming up behind, going pretty fast." And
Yeah.
that might just bring my attention back to where it needs to be on operating the vessel and then coming up with a plan. If a boat is coming up fast from behind, do I need to stay my course? Do I need to slow down? Do I need to inform the other passengers that perhaps a passing boat wake might be coming so that everyone is holding on and is in a safe position to do so?
Yeah, nothing beats a second set of eyes. I've been in that situation where I'm a passenger, and I'll always call out into the boat. And you don't want to be the guy saying, "Hey, did you see that?" And then the captain looks to you and goes, "Yeah, yeah, I saw it. I knew he was there." He may not see it. He might have his attention directed in another area. So if he says, "Yeah, yeah, I know it was there. I see it was there. Fine. You've done your part." Even if he didn't know it was there, he may not voice that, but he's probably thankful that you noticed it. You know.
I agree. I like feedback.
Hmm.
Two eyes are, two heads are better than one, and the second set of eyes is all the more safe, right? As you may not see everything, there might be something obstructing your view. It might be a passenger standing in front of you. I always give the passengers a job, and even if that job is to sit down and don't say anything, right, as I'm trying to dock, or it might be, hey, stand up and tell me what the watercolor looks like. Is it getting deeper, or just something that keeps them occupied, that is good feedback. Maybe it's, here, hold this boat hook and go ahead and put the fender over when we get closer. So I always like to give the extra people on board something to do, and they stay interested, they stay involved, and they maybe become future boaters and buy their own boat one day. So I
I
think they'll appreciate the hands-on.
I think the best piece of boating advice that my father ever gave me was, you know, son, seagulls don't stand on water.
Right? So that's a navigational, right?
Yeah,
That's a
exactly.
navigation
It's
trick.
yeah,
Like,
that
if they're
saved me a
standing,
few
it's
times.
probably shallow.
Yeah, to your point about, do you see the water color changing? That's important stuff. Good news on the boating fatality front. I mean, it kind of seems odd to say, right? Good news on the boating fatality front, but tell me about that.
So, in short, the 2024 Coast Guard boating accident and statistics were just released, and that is the last full year of statistics that have been compiled, and the fatality rate has gone down. We're looking at 556 fatalities reported for the 2024 boating season. That's down slightly from the year before. We had a bit of a spike for fatalities in and during the times of COVID. But this is great news. This is a 50-year low, according to the Coast Guard. That statistics are showing that fatalities are indeed going down. And that's the result of nearly 12 million registered boaters. So, in that regard, the nonprofits such as BoatUS Foundation, the government agencies, and other volunteer organizations like the Coast Guard Auxiliary, the Power Squadrons, America's Boating Club, are all doing a great job at helping boaters have a better and safer day on the water.
Well, Captain Ted, thanks for all you and the Boat US Foundation is doing and have done to help bring those numbers down.
Yeah, we work so hard, on trying to get those numbers down. Operator inattention and improper lookout are the tops of those causes for accidents. But there's other things too, such as improper speed or excessive speed, knowledge of rules of the road, and not understanding the aids to navigation. So we cover all of those topics in our courses, especially our online boating safety course.
Captain Ted, one more time. Scan. What does it mean?
Search, concentrate, analyze, and navigate to a safe day on the water.
As always, thanks for joining us.
Our pleasure.
The Drift Podcast can be found at driftsociably.com or where all fine podcasts are heard.